Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris, and today we're going to be making some more progress on the mountain. So let's get started. Okay, so we've spent a number of episodes on the mountain at this point. I did one episode of just the base construction of it, and then another of the details on this side. And then the most recent video, which I'll pin in the top right if you haven't seen that yet, focused on this area here with the bridge and the train tunnel, and I did start this section of mountain here. And so this does need a lot of work. Obviously, it is nowhere near done, but that's what this video today is for. My main goal is to get all of this at least close to this height up here. I don't know how feasible that is, but we're going to try that today. And so I'm going to bring both of these plates over to my build table, and we're going to map it out, and hopefully it'll all end up really cool. All right, so my first goal for today is to try and figure out how to make a decently seamless transition between these two base plates here without connecting them. So I have a few 6x8 plates that I want to kind of place around, maybe like here, maybe a couple up here as well. And so I want to try and keep it looking consistent and make it look like it's one big mountain instead of a bunch of different subsections. And I also want to plate this off the top here, and I want to tile this as well. And I'll see if I can find any more arches, but I don't think I have any. I might have one or two more, but I'm gonna have to check for that. And as for the train tunnel on this portion, or this base plate here, I don't know. I was thinking maybe I could use some jumpers and then kind of go back a little bit, and then I could just kind of terminate the tunnel here, because most of the time you're not going to be looking like this. If anything, you would be looking at it straight on, or perhaps even a little bit from that way. So I would have to really focus on this wall, but I think that'll actually be easier than the inside, because I could just use a couple hinge bricks and then tile off the bottom and then just kind of build my way up. So that's not a huge deal, I don't think. So but I'm going to start with the mountain though, because that's my main priority, and I want to make sure that I do that right. All right, so this is what I've been working on so far, mostly just stacking all of these 1x1 plates on top of each other. So it's been pretty tedious, but this is what I have. It does not look like a lot, but I am in the process of trying to figure out this section right here, if I want to use a 6x8 plate in here, or maybe just a 4x6. I think that might be the way to go, just so then I can put a 4x6 at this level, and then I can have plates at lower levels as well. So I do just need to figure that out. This is kind of tedious, like I mentioned, with all the 1x1 plates, just because I'm low on 2x2 brick. I could use Duplo back here, and in fact I probably should be doing that, but I could always swap it out later, so it's not the end of the world. But let me continue working on this, and then I'm going to try and see where I end up putting these plates. All right, so I've made a decent amount of progress in this section up here. I added in the 4x6 plate, and I made it look a little bit nicer. And so now I'm working on this section down here, which is pretty much non-existent on this back base plate here, but I am working on getting it up a little bit higher so I can place this above the height of the train, so the train actually has clearance back here. And I didn't want to use inverted slopes, but I don't think I have much of a choice here. So I am going to have to do that. But I did also come into the train tunnel here, and I spaced out the arches every other brick, and I managed to find one more. So I'm at 5 now total. So there's an arch, a stack of 1x2 bricks, an arch, and then it keeps repeating. And then back here is the same thing, and I'm just missing that last arch there. But I should have one more, so I should be able to find that. And this gap is now open here because I want to add a brick in there to connect this tunnel to the rest of the mountain here, just because as of right now it is pretty wobbly. So I want to fix that, but that will happen in time. I just need to grow this section a little bit more just to get it all to at least a similar height to this, and then we can continue building up. All right, so a lot of time has passed since that last clip, and I've pretty much finished this entire section here. I'm not totally happy with this side of it, but it's gonna have to do for now, just because I don't have a lot of depth to work with here, because I want to figure out the train tunnel here, and I want a lot of space for that. So I'm going to just kind of leave this as it is for now because I'm not totally sure what I want to do for the train tunnel on the inside yet. I'm considering using jumpers and kind of going back, but I haven't figured it all out yet, and I don't think I have enough bricks. So I'm going to save that for either later in the video or its own video. But this section up here is pretty much, I'll call it done for now. And so I'm ready to put this base plate back into the city and then rotate this so it's facing me. And then I can add in this other base plate that has the majority of the mountain on it. And then I can build up and make sure everything is in line properly. All right, so here is the main section here, and this is actually a pretty good close-up view of it. I don't think I've shown it like this before, and so if you haven't seen that video yet, I did go pretty in-depth on how I built all of this, and so I'm going to save all of that for the other video simply because I'm not going to repeat myself here. So if you want to check that out, the video is on the channel, and here is just a quick overview of it all, and I think it actually turned out pretty good. It is rock solid. As you guys can see, I am shaking the entire table, and it is not going anywhere, which is awesome. I do just need to fix that up a little bit. I'm probably going to end up replacing this 2x2x3 slope or replacing some of these bricks in here, but that's an easy fix. That's not a problem, and then I can start building up, and we can get to this top height here. Okay, so I've been pretty busy in this area here. I did start, this is the seam of the base plate right here. I did start by redoing this last column of slopes here to better match the column that's going to go here. And I think that looks pretty good. There is a slight gap in here, but that's just because the base plate is leaning a little bit. So that's fine. That will get covered up eventually. And the rest of this here, I'm actually pretty happy with. Obviously, this is all going to be having the rock face that we just built earlier in front of it, so completely ignore all of the ugly supports under it, but this actually does not look bad. I am missing some 1x1 bricks, and I'm just completely out of them, so I have to order some more, so that is definitely on the list. But other than that, I think that this looks pretty good. I did use another inverted slope in here, which I'm not totally happy about, but you know, what are you gonna do? But yeah, this actually, I'm pretty happy with this. I think it looks pretty good. I like this little dip down here that has the olive green, the green, the reddish brown, the dark tan, and the sand green over here. I think that all looks really good. And this is where the train tunnel is gonna be. And so this corner is probably gonna end up getting redone anyways. So I'm gonna just kind of leave it like this for now, and then hopefully I can go ahead and connect it all together so it's really strong, because as it is right now, it's all locked in together, but it's, you know, on this. So it's not the strongest thing in the world in terms of structure, but, or stability, I mean. Structurally is fine, but yeah, this actually turned out better than I thought. I like the sideways sloping in here and throughout here. I think that all looks really good, and so overall, I am pretty happy with this. This is a massive eyesore, though, right here. But again, I don't have any extra 1x1 bricks, so I'm going to have to just make do without it for now. But other than that, I am actually really, really happy with this. And it is pretty close to level with this, but I'm just probably going to end up using plates to level it off with this, and just so that everything is at the same level here, because I don't want to, like, put a brick here and then add a brick here and then just keep going up and up and up. So I want to just level it all off at this level, and then I'll add supports in the back, and then I can tile everything off, and then we can make the next layer of the mountain that would sit on the top, and then the peak would go straight up like that. So I'm pretty excited for that. That is obviously not going to happen in today's video. That is going to happen another day, just because that's a really, really massive project in and of itself. But I also just like adding the quarter round tiles whenever I get the chance, just because I think that adds a lot of nice detail in this area here, and I quite like it. There's not a lot of olive green over here compared to the rest of it. There's a lot of olive green on this, and there's not a whole lot over here, but I think that's fine, honestly. You know, if you come over this way, you can see all of the olive green, and ignore all this, by the way. This is gonna it's gonna end up being used in the mountain, so just ignore that for the time being. But yeah, so there's a lot of olive green throughout here, and as you go this way, it gets slowly less and less and less until you get all the way over here, and this is the only olive green. And so I'm pretty fine with that, honestly. I think it adds a little bit of character to it, because if the whole thing had a bunch of olive green on it, I don't think it would look right. So I'm pretty happy with this as it is. We can place this in the city and see how it looks, because I actually haven't done that yet. And hopefully it looks pretty good next to or I guess behind the module that's in front of this. So let's actually go place this in the city and see how it looks. All right, so I just placed them in, and I think this looks really, really awesome here. And so as you guys can see, it's all at about the same height. It's not perfect, but this side is not done yet, but don't worry, that will get done soon. I just need to, let me come around the back here. I just need to figure out the walls for the train tunnel on this side as well as this side, and then I can build up and create a platform up here. And then once I do that, I can put rock panels on top, and then I can blend everything together. And then that is pretty much the entire base layer done. And then I could, like I said earlier, I can actually level this all out because it's pretty close right now, but I can exactly level it out with plates and tiles, and then I can tile everything off. I can add supports in the back here and along the back here for a bunch of pillars, and then I can support those, and then I can make a giant base that rests on the top here, and then the rest of the mountain can get built up. And so basically this mountain is split into 5 sections, or I guess 6 when it's all said and done, because this module with the water has the front, and that's 1 plate. The one behind it that we were working on today with this is the 2nd plate. This one up here that has the cabin, and this is plate number 3. That is plate number 4 that I had next to it just a moment ago. And then this one over here with the other tunnel entrance and the rest of the mountain here is plate number 5. And then module number 6 is going to be that massive piece on the top. And so I have a vision for it. I don't know if I'm really saying it as well as I can think it, but hopefully one day in the near future, you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about if my words are not making sense right now. But I'm extremely happy with this. I think it looks great. Obviously, I know that there's holes in here and that this is not done. I know that, but I can't do this until I figure out the rest of the tunnel, and I can't do that until I buy the bricks, like I mentioned earlier. And so I am extremely happy with this. This looks great. And let me actually give you guys a bit of a zoomed out shot over here. This is the front of the city, basically where I start all of the videos. And as you guys can see, the mountain has some real presence to it now. And I'm so happy with that. I'm going to take a quick step this way as well. And that looks really, really awesome. So I'm extremely happy with this. And so on that note, that is going to wrap up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked what I did, make sure to like the video and subscribe, as well as click the bell notification so you don't miss any future uploads. If you guys have any feedback for me on this section of the mountain and how you think this area should look on top of the train tunnel here, make sure to drop a comment down below. And once again, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.